Hello, my friends. Welcome to Chord Dave Live number 97. So, like, two more to go, and then no more after that, I think, is what's going to happen. Anyway, it's Saturday night. It's 10 p.m. Irish time. So, thanks for joining me, and sláinte to you, my friend. Back with the fancy glass with the San Miguel in it again because they're on special offer. So, why not? Yeah, guitars and things. Lots of stuff happening. Let me know your thoughts on all the things happening this week. Um, you know, it was a kind of a quiet week ish, but let's see if we can talk for 2 hours about guitars. Anyway, I'm sure we can manage to get most of the way through. Yeah, so thanks for joining me. It's always cool to hang out with you guys on a Saturday night. If you've got anything other than guitar related stuff you want to talk about, pop it in there too. You got to be subscribed for at least a minute before you can comment in the chat. But you'll find it a rewarding thing. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the like buttons and all those kind of things, and have some crack. There we go. That'll do. All right, so let's jump into the chat and see who's here and who isn't here and all that sort of stuff. Take roll call. We should start doing roll call every week, actually. If you don't turn up one week, you get minus 10 points. I think that sounds good. Scott Bugfoot, of course, is here almost first. Rob F is here as well. Great to see you, Rob. So hope your weekend is going well so far. Well, it's going, so that's always good. Listening to Lyle Caldwell's Psionic audio live stream. Very good. Hope it was enjoyable. I was quite busy today and this afternoon, so I didn't get to check that out myself. What was it? Nella's here. Great to see you. Says hi, Dave. Rob and Scott. Ryan's here as well. Great to see you, Ryan. Hope you're well, my friend. Playing that Les Paul Supreme, no doubt. Hope you were enjoying that. Rob says this. Scott never played a 7-string. What is the 7-string tuned to? Are the others the same as the 6-string? And yeah, I mean, I struggle enough with 6 strings. I don't need to add the complexity of a 7-string. But Scott is way ahead. Sometimes B to E, sometimes half step down with the 7A full step. Depends. Interesting indeed. I just can't be dealing. Rob F says interesting. Was curious if or how much chord and scale shapes change. I have no idea. I think we've had this discussion a few months ago, and I was like, I just can't comprehend it. 6 strings is enough. Those are all the things I needed to. Why do I need a 7th string? And then you got 8 strings, and then you got people just want to see the world burn. I don't know what's going on. Nella says, I'm curious too. Just Googled it. Looks like there are a lot of different tunings. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I mean, I know that's not what you wrote, but all of those and others where the all 7 strings and different than a 6-string. Interesting. Is this going to be the chat tonight? Because I'm going to be lost if this is what we're talking about. Guys, just so you know. I have no clue whatsoever. Rob says, I think having 7-string and A or a B with the other 6 set to standard or half set down makes sense. That way you don't have to relearn the whole neck. It's an interesting point. Absolutely. Well made, Rob. Now it says, ever since seeing the Bonamassa SG with Maestro, I felt the need to have an SG with Maestro. I don't care for the cherry red epi with the veneer top. So I got the one in olive green. I like it. Very cool, Nelly. Yeah, there was those epis in the red, the cherry red with the veneer on top and the back, that would put me off buying them. I think they're nice guitars, but the veneer just bugs me. Yeah, so, but olive green's a nice color for a guitar as well. I was just thinking about an olive green guitar today. Very cool. Glad you enjoy it, and enjoy it as you get used to it and stuff. Nella says, thanks. $490 is way better than $1,500, and I can do without the third pup anyway. I mean, it's a lot better, isn't it? Would you? Here's the thing: if the Bonamassa was available in the same colors, like a color choice, would it be worth $1,500, like $1,000 more? I don't think it would. I think those two would compare ridiculously. And that's my point on the Epiphone pickups. If you're not going to make them, not pickups, the Epiphone signatures that are expensive, if they're not going to make them competitive even with their own stuff, why are they doing it? Price-wise, they look like really nice guitars and everything, but we've talked about it enough. I don't want to give them too much because there could be some lurkers in here who want to give out to me about saying Epiphones are too expensive for the signature models. That happens. But But yeah, if they can do the same thing pretty much minus one pickup with what is it, $1,000 less, it's a no-brainer. Scott says, I like to tune it so the high strings I'm playing like a regular standard six chords, um, like a regular standard six chords. Then I have the low B tune, so I play the bottom strings like a half step down chords. Scott, I didn't ask for a PhD course in seven string guitars today, okay? It just lost me there. I have no clue what's going on. Um, but what you can do, and what I think we'd all appreciate, clearly there's an interest. Your next Only Guitars video needs to be a seven string guitar. And if you haven't checked out Scott's video, check it out. His Les Paul is pretty cool and I like it. Scott Brower's here. Great to see you, Scott. Hope you are well, my friend. Says SGs look nice with a Maestro. Even if you never use a trem, one of Angus Young's guitars is like that. They do look nice with a Maestro trem on it. I've been tempted quite a few times by SGs with Maestros on them. They're pretty. Kirk Douglas one is nice. Did that one have a Maestro? I think it did, Scott. Did it? Yeah. Yeah. I'm struggling to remember now. I think it did. Rob says, no, not sure why someone needs a third pickup unless it's a Strat with at least two single coils. It's exactly what I like. A lot of people would say take out the third pickup. I don't know. It's a thing. It's a differentiator. It makes that guitar different to probably any other in your collection. Won't shit on it because you do get different tones out of it. But yeah, it's not. I don't know. A lot of people don't like that. Some people dig it. You know, I'm not a big fan myself, but there you go. Two pickups is enough for me. Richard Clark says 3 is more. And that's a great point, Richard, and I appreciate you, sir. Thanks so much for dropping in. It's always great to see you. Rob says, but my amp goes to 11, which is one more. I know, yeah, it's good. It's classically and historically correct, and I do love that very much. Chris from Coburg is here. Great to see you. Chris says, on the menu tonight, beef stew with dumplings and homemade horseradish, plus, wait for it, beer. Sláinte. Indeed, Chris. Sláinte, sir. Enjoy your beef stew with dumplings. Yeah, great to see you, Chris, as always. Let me see. Be back soon. Got to tend to the kitchen. Yeah, I'm sure you got a lot to do. Scott Bogfoot says, anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe and wait 1 minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube. Indeed. That is true. And by the way, this is our 97th live stream on the channel, just specifically Chord Dave Live. There has been a handful of other ones throughout the couple of years that were just, hey, let's catch up really quick. I think literally 2 of them. But this is the 97th live stream on a Saturday night. So in 3 more weeks, it might not be 3 more weeks, guys, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as we go along. But when we hit show number 100, I'm going to try and have a special live stream. We'll do some things. We're going to maybe have some special shirts or something, and we'll have a bit of a party, a Chord Dave party. So if you want to just make sure you don't miss that one. If it is your first Chord Dave Live tonight, or next week, you probably won't see this one if it is, or whatever, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, because it's going to be cool. It'll probably be the very same as all the other 100 nearly episodes. So anyway, strap yourself in for that one. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss it, is all I want to say. The reason I was going to say it might not exactly be in 3 weeks' time is I may have to take a week off at short notice from time to time now. This is because I mentioned before, a family member has been diagnosed with cancer, a close family member, so I'm going to kind of be on a fly, like kind of going to be on call a little bit over the next while. So if I do pop up and say, hey, the 100 show is postponed, I'll try and do it with as much notice as possible, probably 24 hours notice if I can. But I also think I'd probably get next week done, and I think I'm going to have to take the weekend off after that from the team. So next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm hoping we'll hit that 100 number. So just be aware, though, I may have to last minute skip a show here or there, but I'll try to get them done within 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah, anyway, next week we should be fine. The week after, though, I think we're gonna miss that week, and we'll have 2 more then till the 100 show. So don't miss that one. It's going to be cool. Or if any of my plans for that one come true, which they may not, it will be cool. Nella says, Scrapper Hour, yes, they do. Tuning stability is surprisingly good on this one. Have a Tone Pros bridge. With nylon saddles on the way, that should be an improvement. I mean, it's getting closer and closer to the Bonamassa specs if you got the nylon saddles and everything on it as well. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, sounds great, man. Now let's see, where are we? Did I miss someone? William Forrest, great to see you, William. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Thanks for joining us today. Marsha's here. Of course, Marsha's here. Anyone here want an aero guitar? I'm buying one for Dave this Christmas. No thanks, Marsha. I'm fine. Don't want to get sued, really. And I know they haven't sponsored me or supported me in any way, or what do you call it? Requested a review or whatever it is they're doing with people. But I still don't want their product. It looks shit. Marcia says, by the way, when I saw that, when that Kickstarter launched last year, I predicted it would be a disaster. It doesn't even qualify as a toy. Yeah, I think you sent a link. I think we looked at it one night when you sent it here in the chat. I think so. So anyways, yeah, I think that's an awful looking product. I don't understand why they're getting antsy. If you send your product out for review and your product is bad, it's going to get bad reviews. So yeah, they should have sent it to other people as well. Like KDH said, probably not the right market to send it to. Already guitar players are not going to pick this up. And very much, it's not a pro instrument like they're trying to say it is. So there you go. Yeah, if you don't know, check out KDH's video, because he pretty much covers everything. It's basically a shitty plastic thing that you can learn guitar on from Kickstarter, and it's $500 and $600, something like that. No thanks. Learn a guitar on a guitar. That's my idea. Anyways, the idea is there, but horrible execution. I wrote comments on Henning's last video today to explain how it can be saved. He says software can fix it, but I disagree. I mean, write to the company, tell them. Nella says Dave's going to be 300 minutes behind before he even starts. Oh, you corrected it with 30 minutes. Yeah, I do start I opened a live chat an hour before the stream. Reasons being, and this might change, might be one of the things that we change soon. The reason I started doing that was because it gave a build up of chat, and then usually there was enough to carry through to 2 hours. We're getting to the point now where the chat just sustains itself beyond that anyway. So we may have to open it up a little bit later, maybe half an hour before, 30 minutes before is enough. I don't know, but we'll see what we can do, because yeah, we don't want to be going over, and we don't want to be missing comments and stuff like that, but we'll see what we can do. Scott Bogfoot anyway says it's like Guitar Hero hardware, but without the Xbox. It does kind of look like a Guitar Hero guitar, but not a cool one. Which is why you would buy a Guitar Hero guitar, right? If you had an Xbox. So, Mar says a beginner guitar with software education needs to be a mashup of a Jamstick Studios MIDI guitar and a 6-string Loog. I think a beginner guitar needs to be just a cheap guitar, like an actual guitar with a like some online lessons or links to Marty Music or something, because you can get started enough with that and go from there. You don't need a high-tech guitar to learn guitar. You just need a regular guitar. That's what I think. I think all these people trying to create what do you call them? These app-based guitars and so forth, technology-driven guitars. You're barking up the wrong tree. It's not a problem that needs to be fixed. Guitar is perfect as it is. It doesn't need. No one's ever going to walk out on stage with these things. Yeah, figure something else out, like an electric harmonica that teaches you how to play harmonica. Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. So there you go. I think they're stupid, these things. But hey, feel free to disagree with me. As I've said many times, my opinions are fine. Your opinions also fine. And we're allowed to have different ones, but I think they're stupid, these things. So yeah, I wouldn't bother putting any time into them. Nella says, what do you do if you manage to break one of the strings? I presume that's on the 7 strings guitars. I think you can buy sets of 7 strings, so you probably have to replace either just one from the pack or just do the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know. Mark says, Scott, it's worse. At least you can play songs on an Xbox controller. I think that's an interesting point. Yeah, I agree with you. Richard Virginia is here. Great to see you, Richard. Although your message has been redacted, so I can't say what you said. But hello to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Marcia says, did you watch Six String TV's demo? I can only imagine being a beginner and smashing that thing when I push a button and nothing happens, or notes ring out at random. I did not watch Six String TV's video. I don't really watch his videos. Nothing against them, just have not enough time to watch more YouTubers than what I already watch. Marcy, you seem to watch every single guitar YouTube channel, so you could just you can refer to us if there's anything cool on them. I think that's a great idea. Nella says Squire Mustang or Bronco, the ultimate starter guitars. Yeah, I mean nothing wrong with those at all. Affinity Squires, yeah, absolutely. Great place to start. Nothing replaces a real guitar for sure, says Marcia, which is correct. Yeah, Scott says the only guitar made for a drummer. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Let me see. How have we got to here? Let me see. What have we got? Something looks wrong on my screen. Sorry, guys. It's distracting me. Corey says, hey gang, hope everyone had a great week. It's been a project after project in my house lately. Don't forget to hit all those buttons for Dave. Indeed, hit all the buttons. Thank you so much, Corey. Great to see you, man. Hope you're well. Great to see your progress on your projects as well. If you guys are wondering how I've seen Corey's progress, he's in our Facebook group and he posts pictures of what he's working on and stuff, which is cool to see. And so does some of the other guys as well, like so Ryan and Glenn and so forth have been posting pictures over there. There's a link in the description of all the videos and you can join our Facebook group if you're on Facebook. I'm not saying it's worthy of joining Facebook just to sign up for our group, but it is. And you can enjoy yourself over there chatting to members of the community here. Yeah, and it's good fun. And thanks to Muddy H2O for setting that up, by the way. He is useful from time to time, you know. One of the most useful people I've ever known, to be fair. But he's playing his new Strat today, so he's probably too busy to hear me compliment him. Oh well. But yeah, pop over to the Facebook page if you're on Facebook. It's a good place to hang out with us and chat about guitars and things. And usually that's the first place I pop any news I get nowadays, or I try to pop it there first. So yeah, if you're interested, you want to know guitar things first, Facebook group. Al Adolfson is here. Great to see you, Al. Hope you're well, my friend. Says hello, gang. Hello to you, sir. Hope all's good with you, Al. And Ben Allmark as well is here. Great to see you, Ben. Hope all's good with you, my friend. Al says, hey, Scott, loved your videos on your only guitars. Didn't know you were a Les Paul aficionado. Yeah, Scott has done some interesting videos lately, and that one, and he did one about the SG, he won on this channel, and then he did one, the next one is his Les Paul, which is a cool one. Looking forward to the next in the series, because we want to see what's in those cases behind him every time he does another video, which is cool. He's got a lot going on, which is great. Love to see it. Anyway, let's see what else we've got here. Scott says good, lots of various pains, but good. Yeah, that's just what happens, man. I feel your pain and I respect you for it. Marcia says, if you want a real guitar married with easy playability and technology, it can be done. A Jamstick MIDI with 7s or 8s pre-installed and educational app with easy maintenance features of Loog would be thumbs up. I mean, look, I'm not against them. I just feel like I don't know when then you graduate to a real guitar and how it affects you. I'm sure it's fine. Maybe I'm just too old school to embrace those things, but I'm sure they're pretty good products. I know people have given good reviews to the Jamstick thing. I just can't get my head around it to pick one up myself. So not that I don't understand it, I just don't think I would pick it up. I'd be looking at it going, what the hell's that thing? Like I don't travel enough for it to be of use to me really, because I have guitars in my house. I'd use them instead. So yeah. Anyways, guitars over technology. When technology's dead, guitars will still survive. So we'll be fine. I mean, we won't be able to play plugged in, but we'll be able to just jam out with acoustics and stuff. Anyways, Dennis Ellis is here. He says, "Hey, Chord Dave. Hope everyone is doing good. Indeed, sir. Great to see you as it always is. And thank you for joining us. Yeah, nice to see you, Dennis." Rob F says, "Now the Squire Mustang I appropriated from one of my twins is an awesome guitar. I put a pair of P90s and new electronics in it. It's a great mod platform." Yeah, Mustangs are cool guitars, like, especially if you're into certain music from the 90s, Nirvana or whatever. Yeah, very cool guitars. I like them. I haven't got one. Maybe I shall add one to my collection at some point. But yeah, any guitar you can pop P90s in is a great idea. Mark says, "Did y'all hit the thumbs up button yet? Because I see way more peoples than likes." Marcia, what's going on? You're supposed to be controlling this. 30 viewers currently and 22 likes. That's not bad. We're doing okay. I mean, that's a pretty high approval rating right there. People would kill for that. So anyway, we'll accept. DMAC is here. Great to see you, DMAC. Thank you so much for your comment on the Patreon video. And that went up on YouTube, right? Yeah, pretty sure. But yeah, thanks so much for your comment on Patreon, DMAC. Appreciate it. And guys, I do have a Patreon. If you want to check out the videos at least 24 hours early, get some exclusive content. Hopefully more is coming soon. I know there should be way more over there. The problem is I just never have any time, dude. Squeezing out one video a week is actually rough right now. And even this week's video was kind of, I better put a video out, and here's what I'm going to talk about. So yeah, let's just say there's going to be more content out there. I have a lot of plans for the content. I just haven't got around to filming it yet. And some stuff I filmed and it won't upload there for some reason. So yeah, that's an issue. But anyway, we'll figure it out as we go along. I'm hoping get some of the plans I have done over the next month. So hopefully you'll see that. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, I think it's $3 a month. You can go from there. Just to throw it out there, just no matter who you're supporting, what YouTube channel it is, anything like that, November is a great time to support YouTube channels, because by the time they get paid for it, that's Christmas time. So whether it's me or any other YouTube channel, if you're signing up for their Patreons, or you're doing super chats, or you're doing super thanks, or any of that, on any YouTube channel, just remember November is the best month to do it, because then they get paid that just before Christmas, and it's a cool thing to do. So bear that in mind while you're on YouTube at any channel, and don't feel obliged no matter what anyone says to you. It's we do this because we choose to. I know sometimes I'm like, hey, we need to make more money off YouTube. That's true, but at the same time, no one should feel obliged or like you're missing out. You're not missing out on content unless hang on, how should I say this? You're not missing out on content. You just get extra if you go to some of these Patreons and things like that. Anyways, we'll get on with it, and I'll stop rambling on, talking nonsense. Al says, "Rob F, what luck that you have Dylan upgrading your new Les Paul." Yeah. Is that video out yet? I think it was coming out this week, right? You guys will have to tell me, because I said before, I don't check his channel too often. So let me know if that video is out. I think it is. If I wanted to name a guitar Thunderwhammer, what kind of guitar should I get? It's a great question. Thunderwhammer, I feel like it's going to be some kind of Les Paul, because they're heavy. But I don't know, man. That's a great question. That's all. Give Buglips an idea there. And thanks for joining us once again, Buglips. Always great to see you, my friend. Ben Allmark says, Johnny Marr says hi, Dave. Johnny Marr does say hi, in fact, yes, for Mustangs. Indeed, what a player he is. Very cool. Robert is here, says, "Morning, Dave. Morning, all. Hope you all had a great week." Robert, hope Australia is doing well this fine morning. I think I've told you this before, but every Sunday I actually do a video chat with my pal James, who lives in Australia. He lives in Melbourne, so Sunday afternoon my time, we always hop on and talk about all kinds of things. A very good friend I've been traveling and stuff with in the past. So yeah, I feel a very strong connection to my Australian pals here online and in the place. Potentially depending on how things go, I might actually be in Australia next year at some point. So keep an eye out for that. Chord Dave on tour might happen because there's lots of plans being made. We'll see what can actually be done when the time comes. Rob F says, I agree, Al. I'm very lucky to have Dylan working on the LP. I think being one of his patrons helped. I think that would help. Yeah, absolutely. Because look, again, I don't want to too much go on this, but Patreon does help YouTubers a lot more than say YouTube ad revenues and all that sort of stuff. They take less money and you can get paid out more quickly. Like basically you can go on and get a payout at any time. So if you've built up a certain amount, you can take it out. Whereas with YouTube, you got to wait until they pay you, which for me, it's like random days at the end of the month every month. But it's usually on time, the next few days, for example. But yeah, if you're on his Patreon list, I think he'd pop you to the top of the queue. I think that is what a lot of folks would do. I gotta admit, I probably would do that. But I won't work on your guitar because I'll break it. So you don't want that. Nella says, Colin the guitarista did that. It turned out great. That was... what was that in relation to? Colin from Guitaristas is fantastic and honestly one of my favorite YouTubers. Not guitar YouTubers, YouTubers in general. So yeah, he's a very cool guy indeed. If you haven't seen his video from last week where he did a studio tour, got to admit, a little bit jealous over his studio. Yeah, got to get me one of those. So yeah, he's got all the space I wish I had. This is literally the space that I have. You can see it. Rob F says, I stumbled on Colin's video a few months after I upgraded the Mustang. Yeah, Colin's video was great. Glad you stumbled upon it. He's cool. Glenn says, does anyone have any opinions on the Gretsch Paisley Penguin and Copper Sidewinder released this week? Glenn, I'm behind on stuff, man, on news, so I haven't seen them, but Paisley Penguin sounds interesting. I shall look out for that at some point for sure. Yeah, it sounds like something to check out. Al says, drinking a Carib Shanty, it sucks. Lime drink with beer added 0.9%. Didn't realize it when I bought it. Stay away, just my humble opinion. Al, you know what? I'm going to stay away. It sounds like I can trust your opinion, my friend. So yeah, definitely. Nella says, sounds like an abomination witch's brew. It does, which sounds seasonal, to be quite honest. Anyways, Jess is here. Says, hi Dave. Hi Jess, great to see you, my friend. Hope you are well. And yeah, rocking out with maybe a new Adam Jones guitar. No, maybe not. Okay. Where are we? I lost all my comments once again. First time tonight, half an hour in. There we go. Maybe second time. I don't know where. There we go. Okay, cool. Back to normal. Rob says, sorry about your bevy. I'm working on the last of some bourbon. Do like me some bourbon, my friends. Yes. Maybe episode 100 will have a whiskey theme to it. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I should be finished the San Miguel that I bought at that point. Mar says, oh my god, my middle finger really hurts at the knuckle on the strumming hand. I think I was hitting the strings too hard last night. I'm just not going to make a comment. Money H2O is here. He has arrived. He's put his strat down for a minute. That is a euphemism. With a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. You're super, super kind. Says, tickling behind Dave's left earlobe will also get you to the top of his list. Or so I'm told. Sir, that is a secret. You're not supposed to divulge that information. But thank you for the super chat. And yeah, hope you are satisfied with your strat action. Scott says it will be 7, the theory of when I met Billy Gibbons. It will be A7. The story of when I met Billy Gibbons. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And we think you told us a little bit about it, but I'm sure there's more details. So sounds good. Yeah, let's see. Al says, oh, hang on. Rob F says, ouch, Marsha, I hope it gets better soon. My wrist is hurting more than usual after a few hours of morning practice. You hope that gets better too, Rob. You know I'm all about the wrist pain these days. Wrist pain crew. It's all good. It's all good. This is only on as a precaution. It's actually getting a lot better and has been. I think it might be because my mind is occupied with other things. I don't know, but yeah, I'm also taking all kinds of vitamins and supplements and all that sort of crack. It seems to be doing the job. So yeah, we're having a better wrist time, but still wearing this thing. Al says it's going to be fun when Dylan finished upgrading your Epi LP and then comparing it to his Gibson slash LP. That will be interesting. Marcia says, did Dave say party? I'm there. Yeah, the party's in Australia though, next year. We will have a Three Chord Dave number 100 party, Three Chord Dave live number 100 party. It'll be 2 hours long. It'll take place at this time on a Saturday, and bring your own beer. That's the plan. Cushman NYC says hello, peoples. Hello, Cushman. Good to see you, man. Hope you're well. Let me see, where else are we here? Rich C says, hey Dave, Scott and all. Great to see you, Rich. Hope you're well, man. And Glenn Bailey, of course. Everyone's favorite Glenn is here. Says, hit that like buttons, people. Yeah, indeed, Glenn. Good to see you, man. You may have commented. I think I read out your comment earlier. I'm not sure, but it's great to see you anyway. Marcia says, thanks, Rob. I'm not really sure what I did last night. I feel like I need some Bengay. No, for real, best thing for joint pain. Some scientific word, gel. So thanks, Marcia, for that, making me read big words. Nella says, for the beer fund, with a $5 super chat. Sir, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yeah, the beer fund, the beer fridge is stocked up at the minute, but I'll add that to the beer fund for sure. Thank you so much, sir. Super kind. I have a great community here filling up my beer fridge. So that's all good. Let me see. Rob says, it's getting more difficult each week as I watch Dylan. I can't wait to play the LP. I'm teaching myself oh well in preparation. Very cool. Yeah, listen, it'll be worth it, I'm sure. He's going to do a good job for you. Rob says, Marcia, my parents ruined wintergreen lifesavers for me with Bengay. I don't know what's going on there. So I'm sure we have equivalents here, but I don't really know what those things are. Marcia says, I heard Aeroband sent wanted to get one to Glenn Fricker. By the way, they clearly didn't expect Glenn to give a rave review, did they? You know what? I do get these emails from time to time where it's like, hey, we love your product, or we love your output, we love your content. It's like, which video? Sometimes I respond and say, which video did you like? And then they don't respond because they don't watch your videos. They just see that you are publishing content in a certain genre and they push it out. I'm sure every YouTuber has received, from a certain subscriber level, have received those emails from them. If they expected Glenn to shower them with praise, Glenn Fricker, that is, I think it's clear they didn't know who they were messaging, because he doesn't pull any punches, and that's great. That's a great thing about his channel. But yeah, that would be funny, Marcia. We should try and find out. Rob F says, Dave being behind is our fault. We chat for an hour before he starts. Hey, it's all good, man. It's my fault for allowing you and for not going faster in the chat when I'm reading it. So no, it's all good. It's all good. And I like that because I think it builds community, having that time beforehand, you guys talking without me, building it up. But I just have to catch up with you, of course. Marcia says, by the way, my SN keeps changing back and forth. Don't know what happened. But Marcia T22 and Marcia T is the same person, if you haven't realized by now. I don't know. It might not be. Nella says, should be named Error instead of Arrow. I like it. Arrow is the name of a chocolate bar here in Ireland. So I presume they have them in the UK as well. I think they do, right? You got arrows? Well, anyway, here in Ireland, that's what I would think of instead of a electric guitar thing. Rob says, Dave, they are not cheap guitars. They are inexpensive or entry-level guitars. That is, yeah, I mean, it's true. They also tend to be a lot cheaper than what do you call them? Expensive guitars. But you're correct. And honestly, like, the standard is a lot higher than it used to be. So we should maybe change that description a lot. But there you go. Marcia says, I fully agree, Dave. Nothing replaces a real deal guitar for a beginner. I'm just saying that if they wanted to try to pitch a high-tech solution, that's a better design approach. I don't disagree with you. I still think they should just throw out the idea and stop because you're going to be savaged by the guitar community. Look, we have a pretty decent community within the Three Chord Dave community. But guitarists, musicians, guitarists, interested people, the guitar community, it's pretty feckin' savage. So if your product is terrible, whether you're Gibson or Aero guitar or whatever, or Fender or Jackson or Marshall or whoever, we generally call that out straight away. Nobody gets a free ride in the guitar community. So if your product's not 100%, it doesn't pass muster and it will be ripped apart. Yeah, so you got to be, if you're bringing a new guitar product, it's got to be really, really good. I don't know. I think there's too much focus on trying to modernize things that don't need to be modernized. Modernize computers again, like upgrade them to new things and phones and all that sort of stuff. But even that, it's all incremental. Guitars don't need to be changed. I don't think there's any improvement that we're crying out for. Beginner guitars, as Rob says, inexpensive guitars we can call them, or entry level guitars, and that works. But yeah, I have a real thing with like people trying to make high tech solutions to problems that don't exist. It just, yeah, like like KDH said in his videos, if your fingies gotta hurt for a little bit, they gotta hurt for a little bit. It's fine. That's every guitar player. It's like a rite of passage. If somebody said to me I learned guitar and it was the easiest thing in the world because I had this high tech thing, I'd be like, give me a look at that thing, and I'd smash them over the head with it because it's, yeah. Anyways, never mind my violence. Buglip says Aero seems an expensive way to not learn guitar. Yep, exactly. Al says I'm waiting for a tech guitar with AI that forces my hands to finger the pick correctly to a selection of top 100 hard rock classics. I mean, that's the dream, Al. It's the dream. I love it, man. Hey, Al, maybe Aero will make your AI dreams come true. And the cost has to be sub $200. I think that's a fair price. I do want, like, and I would sign up for this if they could do it. In The Matrix where they put the thing in the back of Keanu Reeves' head and like they download a file and then he's like, I know Kung Fu. Well, can you just download like Slash's guitar ability into my fingers and hands? That'd be great. Then I wouldn't have to put in like those, like whatever many hours he's put in. I could just start rocking out just for myself. I don't want to make money off it or nothing. I mean, maybe I make some cool YouTube videos, but yeah, that's what I want. So if Elon Musk is listening, I'll sign up for it if you want to do that. I promise. As I'm saying it, I'm like, that's a terrible thing to say online, Dave. It might come back to haunt you. Mars says, yeah, I've seen some of the work being done on the guitars in our group. We have some very talented people. We do. And some not so talented. I'm just kidding. Everyone here is cool and I love them. I love them all. I love all of you. Well, most of you, 93% of you. Al says, I can be a cheap sob at times. I mean, who can't? SOB if you want, but sob works for me. Cheap, if it's free, it's me. I mean, hey, nothing wrong with cheap sometimes. Rob says, I commented on KDH's video earlier that I paid less than the cost of that monstrosity for my first guitar setup, an amp 2 years ago, Affinity Strat and an Orange Dark Micro. Affinity Strats are perfect starter guitar, really. They're easy to pick up. Usually they're pretty good quality. So yeah, I think that's great, man. That's definitely the way to go. Yeah, for $600, there's so many better options. Way less than $600 is better options. But that sounds like a perfect starting off rig, Rob. Glenn says, I have the Orange Micro Terror. How do you like the Dark Micro? Is it decent distortion? Great question. Daniel Tilleru says, what do you think of Coheed and Cambrian Medusa guitar? I don't know anything about it. Daniel, it's something I'll have to look into this week. But yeah, I don't know. I'd imagine it will be cool and way out of my price range. Just guessing that. I could be wrong. Scott says, wicked stormy here tonight. Well, take care, Scott. It's been kind of stormy here. Parts of Ireland have flooded and stuff like that this week. Maybe that's why T isn't here. Has anyone seen T? Because it was over his side of the country. Although I think further south than where he lives. But yeah, hopefully Hopefully everyone's doing well that side. And hopefully you stay safe. Um, so you're good trying to stay dry. Do try to stay dry. That's important. Um, could make jokes, but I'm not gonna. Rob F says I really like the dark micro, though I play it pretty clean. Edge of breakup through my 2x12 Fane F70 and new creamback. The orange 1x8 leaves a bit to be desired. There you go. Interesting. Good enough review, I think there. Jess says I liked the Chibson video. Thanks, Jess. I see your letter has changed color for some reason on my screen. But there you go. Yeah, the Chibson video. Let's just talk about it for a second. The point is, I don't know. Obviously, YouTube's feeding me videos because of what I'm watching, and I'm watching these videos about Chibsons a lot because that's what's coming up. So I'm getting more of them. And there seems to be this kind of swell of Chibsons are the greatest things since sliced bread. They're better than Gibsons. They're better than Fenders. They're better than PRS. And look, I don't have any particular bias against Chibsons. As I said in the video, I've owned a few down the years. I bought one recently enough, as you've seen. And so nothing against them. I just think I think it's bullshit to say they're better than the big boy brands. They're not better than Epiphones. They're made. Some of them, if you get a really good one, can be on a par with something like a low end Epiphone or something. But I really think like the people who are promoting stuff like that are. There's two things, and I don't want to attack anyone or give anyone shit, but there's two things. Either they just don't know, and that's fine, because sometimes you just don't know. And the other thing is maybe they're just pumping it to get YouTube views. And that's where I have a bit of an issue. So the whole idea behind making the Chibson video, and I debated whether or not I should do it or not, and then I kind of ran out of time. I was like, fuck, I better make a video. But I thought it was worth pointing out there's some things people don't think about, and I think warranty is one of the big ones. Like you can own a Gibson for 2 years, something goes wrong with it, or you notice something playability wise wrong with it, and you can contact Gibson and be like, hey, I got a problem with my guitar and it's because of how it was made, and they will do something about it. You can return it to your store. It's tricky trying to return a Chibson. I did try to return one once, and they were telling me, yeah, no problem, you can return it, but you have to pay postage. And the postage was like more than I paid for the guitar. So, did you know this? Posting a guitar to China is expensive. Sending it in the mail or by courier, it's expensive to send stuff to China. So, so yeah, it was not worth my while returning that. So bear that in mind. I mean, everything I say in the video is just my experience and my opinion. But I'm glad you liked it, Jess. And thanks for letting me know. And we have another super chat from Muddy H2O with the $5 super chat because he's a super kind, super human. This is anxious for next week's. Are Gibsons and Chibsons better than Aero guitar? Insert unimpressed face here. Actually, how did you know that's what I'm working on? Thank you, sir. And next week's video, I don't know what it's going to be. It'll be something, if I manage to pop one out, a video that is. I'm sure it'll be of a similar style. I actually think there's going to be a big Epiphone release this week, so probably I'll just make a video about that. I also have possibly some information coming to me about a new Gibson range. So if that comes in early enough, I'll make that video. But yeah, someone told me they have information for me, and I should be chatting to them soon. So look out for that. Tuesday maybe or Wednesday. Daniel Tiller says, it just stopped storming here. Glad it stopped for you. And this is a Flying V. I like Flying V's, good stuff. I stare at mine quite a lot. Let's just put it there. I do. Because it's pretty. Grant says, yeah, I run mine through Harley Benton 2x12 and the 8 is iffy. Rob says, yes, Dave, the Chibson video was excellent. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, again, look, as I said in the video, it's all just my opinion from my own experience. I know people who are pro Chibson like to say people who aren't over the top enthusiastic about Chibsons are brainwashed, and I just like to point out that's not the case, because I have owned them and recently bought them, and I own Gibsons and I own Epiphones and I own Fenders and Squires and all kind. Well, I don't own any Fender products at the moment. I own Squire, but Harley Bentons. I've owned all kinds of different guitars down the years. So I don't think I can be accused of being brainwashed. Just maybe don't have the blinkers on at the minute. And that can happen, and I understand it. And also, listen, I just want you to be aware as well. Sometimes, and you see this no matter what genre you get in on YouTube, you get people who find something that works, that gets them a lot of views, especially if it's the first time they've got like thousands and thousands of views. And they just keep making similar videos or on the same topic, and that's fine. That works well for a while, and then it tailors off, and then you're back to like trying to find that thing that'll blow up, which, you know, all the best of them, but sometimes that just peters out and you never get it back. So I think a lot of these channels are just trying to capitalize on popularity of the videos that they have, and good luck to them. Good luck to them. But yeah, let's all just be honest about it. DMAX says, I was thinking I've had good luck with my Gibsons, then today the neck pickup on my Les Paul conked out and the bridge tone pot is wonky on my SG. Time for a Chipson. Hey man, that's that's one road to go for sure. Yeah, I mean, and again, bear in mind, if it's within 2 years of you buying your Gibson, you can contact them. You should have a playability warranty for 2 years. So if it's to pick up, and it could just be simple thing to fix as well. So I mean, yeah, and the pots sometimes just need a bit of a clean out. And the other thing, the pickup could just be like a loose connection or a wiring or something like that. So you never know, but they could fix that for you. Although you probably have to send it away for a while, so hopefully not. Booklip says, yeah, it's howling outside, not fit for beast nor bogfoot. It was like that yesterday here, to be honest. Daniel Tiller says, my Boss Katana 100 is all I need, but I do want an orange. Oranges are an interesting brand. I like them, but yeah, there'll always be something on the list, something else on the list for sure, man. My list is quite long right now. Christian Kohlberg says, I'm on my 3rd bowl of stew and 6th pint. A pint of stew? Oh my God. Well, enjoy it, sir. I hope it's going well for you. Mar says, oh my God, Dave should go on a guitar tour around Australia. I don't know if I can go on a guitar tour. When I was in Australia before, I went on a tour, but not on a guitar tour. We had a wild, crazy time, which involved a lot of beer. But I'll tell you about that some other day. But we've got plans for next year if it's possible, and we'll see how it goes. We're working on things. We're trying to make it happen, so we'll see. Guitar tour, I might get to one guitar store possibly. Scott says, I'm outside. I'm in the echo. Dude, just be careful, man. You know, we need you to help run the stream. Rob says, Glenn, I've matched the 1x8 with a Katana Mini that I put a speaker jack in. They are part of my vacation rig now. There you go, man. That sounds good. Jess says, no. Just as I'm reading Jess's comment, it disappears. Thanks, YouTube. Let me get back to Jess's comment. No, that's a different comment. There we go. Jess says you'll have to make the Chord Dave barbecue part of your tour. Hey, you never know. Maybe you could just do a barbecue tour of hotspots for the Chord Dave community. So we could pick locations and all that. I mean, it's way out of the budget, but you never know. Stuff can happen. Yeah, I should not commit myself to such things on live streams. Al says, I finally finished the shanty. Now I can drink a real beer. Sláinte, sir. Real beers all around. Rob says, if it was that bad, why did you torture yourself? Yeah, substitute it for a real beer. But hey, you're good. You're past it. You passed that trial, and you will never need to go back there again. It's all good. Marcia says, I think you can plug an amp into the Katana as well as bypass the Katana's amp to an external cab. No. If I had a Katana, I could tell you, but I don't know. DMAX says, Katanas are great amps. 100 is probably most versatile. For best price, PT in the range. Yeah, it's a cool amp. It's one I would definitely look at. I think they're very cool. Indeed. Nella says, if I had a building like Collins, I'd live in it. I'm single, so I can do what I want. I mean, yeah, build a little room to just like put a bed in, and the rest can be dedicated to guitars and things. I think that's what I would do. It sounds all good to me. Uh, Paul Smith says katanas are horrid. Sold mine. ASAP greetings from the west of Ireland. Hope you're well, Paul. Thanks for joining us. Hey man, listen, some people love them. Some people, I have to say, it's a minority of people have similar opinion as yourself. But there's nothing wrong with being in the minority, my friend. But yeah, I hope you're doing well out in the west. Ryan says, I had a white penguin, great guitar, but the Bigsby bugged me. I'm definitely going to order the Paisley Penguin this week though. I love it. Very cool, Ryan. Yeah, sounds like I will have to check it out. Both you and Glenn asking about it or mentioning it. So yeah, I'm sure that was in response to Glenn. But yeah, very cool. Paisley Penguin. I haven't seen it, but yeah, Penguins are cool guitars. I like them a lot. Rob says the mini katana didn't have an external speaker jack, so I added one. The orange 1x8 makes it sound so much better than the internal 1x4. Let me see. Al says, as I said, I can be a cheap SOB. I paid for it. Now I paid the price. Paid for it twice, Al. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, but hey, it's done now. That trial is over, and you can, as I say, get a real beer. So it's all good. T-Mac says, yes, the Katana has a power amp in. I plug my HX Stomp into it and use the Katana as a speaker. Very good, and that's a good idea to add one, Rob, says Marcia as well. Jess says, no new Adam Jones still. They aren't selling, so hoping the price will drop more. Yeah, listen, I think they're going to do deals on those coming up to Christmas to clear them out. I think we're going to see some big deals from a lot of the dealers because they're sitting on stock that can't sell for a lot of the signature models. The Dave Mustaines, the super expensive ones. I think even Anderton's had those marked down to like 1,000 at one point. So if they can come down from 1,700 to 1,000, the Adam Jones can come back. And they do have the Sensation, as I think we mentioned last week, down to $899 at Anderton's. The Sensation Adam Jones. So there we go. Hopefully, because I think that's a good price. I think that's a really good price for that guitar, and it gives people who have more sense. Again, I shouldn't say that. I just don't see the value in those guitars at the price they're charging at the minute. But they're definitely better than other Epiphone guitars, in like signature guitars at the minute. Some of them are getting crazy. Like the Dave Mustaine has fees, as I said, for $17.99. Couldn't justify it. But there you go. Yeah, Jess, I do think they're going to sell. Go on sale, I should say. Hopefully soon. Because they need to make room for holiday stock and New Year sales stuff and all that. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Rob says, Marcia, Google the upgrade. It's really easy and the jack is only a couple of dollars. That's a good price. Chris McCobrick says, Chord Dave, Rick Astley plays the same Squire. Tell you own if you didn't know. I was watching a video of him playing it, his Telecaster a couple of days ago. And he was playing a Foo Fighters song, actually. So yeah, it was cool to see that. It's Rick Astley and I have the same taste in guitars. The Sherwood Green with the anodized gold pick guard. I did look on his headstock and it said Fender, so I don't know because I haven't seen that from Fender. And I believe he bought it in a store. I did see something about him buying that guitar. So I'm a bit surprised it had Fender in the headstock. But hey, maybe one of his techs or something swapped out the neck for him. But it does look like the very same guitar. And it's a cool guitar and I do love it. It's very cool. It's still here by my desk that I do not play during my working hours. Actually, I shouldn't say that because my HR department are kind of being dicks to me a little bit at the minute. So they might be watching the live stream. So just for clarity's sake, I do not play guitar when I'm supposed to be working. There we go. Has the Katana software improved? When it launched, people said the software was horribly clunky and not intuitive. Nobody ever said it got improved, says Marcia. It's a great question, actually. I don't know. Daniel says the combo easier to carry around. Indeed. And Marcia says, it's years since the first Katana launched. I hope they improved it by now. People always said the Sparks amp crushed Katana. I haven't actually watched a whole lot of comparisons. I know Marty Music uses one and he loves it. So, because I remember him saying before that it was a great amp. Could have been like years ago. I don't know. I can't remember. Rob S says, glad your wrist is getting better, Dave. Keep re-injuring mine. Yeah, I'm being quite careful with it, but yeah, for now anyway, it's loosened up. It's not doing too bad. It's still an issue from time to time, but yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Um, let me see. Chris says, I am cooking something special for episode 100. That sounds cool, Chris. So yeah, let's launch into that for sure, my friend. So, as long as it's legal. If it's not legal, let's use code words just in case. Scott says, late October is when my house comes into its own, I believe. It's the creakiest house in Canada and my cobwebs are authentic. Authentic being the word of the week, having put out a Chipson video. Just naturally has said that line at the end of the video. Couldn't help myself. Al says, we're all going to Chris's house for the 100. That'd be fun. A Chord Dave live 100 meetup. Yeah, that would be fun. I couldn't be there. I have to be here. But, you guys can hang out. It's cool. DMAX says, Katana software is mostly unchanged from what I can tell. It's kind of old school, but very powerful once you get the hang of it. Very cool. And Daniel says, who really uses software for the amp? That's what pedals are for. Indeed. My amp, the Marshall Code, when I don't use it that much these days, but when I do, I mean, there's an app. I don't use it. Yeah, can dial in whatever you want pretty much. And if you don't, you just use your pedals. It's all good. Again, not a super crazy pedal guy, but because I don't know enough about them. But yeah, that's a better way to go, I think. Daniel, so fair play. Mar says, okay, Daniel. I didn't know if it would help you to plug an orange amp into your existing cab. I'd personally also want a combo too. I mean, how can you not want the whole deal? Yeah. Buglip says, I freaking love my pedals. I mean, there are certain pedals I can't live without. My brake pedal being the number one. Scott says, I want to turn a set of Voltron toys into a set of connectable guitar pedals. All right, that's like if you collect them all, Scott, you get a super pedal. Like it only activates a certain feature when you collect them all. Is that it? Sounds good. I like it. Marcia says, I used to get Aero chocolate up in Canada on our family road trips. Then I saw it in New York one time and it was like, woo. I mean, it's a good chocolate, I haven't had it in quite a while, but I'm sure it's still high quality. Rob says, I decided early on to make cabs and speakers my first big investment after my guitar. The 1x8 helped me decide that I needed to do something. Very cool, Rob. Daniel says, my favorite pedal is one I got on Temu. It's a drum machine and a looper in one $25 pedal. Sounds great. Yeah, a drum machine and a looper. What else can you need? $25 is a pretty cool price for that. Because usually, like a looper by itself is usually a lot more than that. So very cool stuff. And if it works for you, it works for you. That's cool. Richard Clark says, I have not been learning guitar for free. I have been not learning guitar for free for over 4 decades. I hear you, sir. I hear you and I feel you. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Daniel Tiller says, YouTube is the best teacher. There's nothing wrong with YouTube as a teacher, for sure. I have learned many a thing on YouTube. Many a thing, including lots about comment sections. But yeah, it's cool. You can learn an awful lot of stuff there. So I would say if a kid came to me today and was like, I want to learn guitar, what do I do? I'd be like, buy something like an Affinity Squire or Affinity Thingy-Bob or a Harley Benton or something. Get yourself a little amp and go on YouTube. Learn from the best people. The likes of Andy's guitar and Justin guitar and who's the other guy? Marty, of course. Those guys put out enough to get you started. That's all you need. Get started. Play some cool things and you'll be hooked for life. And spend loads of money because that's what we do, right? Buglip says, good Canadians get Aero bars. Bad ones get ketchup Doritos. Yeah, I did. What? No, I don't. What? Ketchup Doritos? Is that a thing? That sounds terrible. Mar says, I agree. The entire idea is bad, but tech brands don't easily give up when they've already invested so much. But that's my idea, to help them save face, but no guitar player will ever recommend it. Yeah, you're 100% right. Think of what happened when the biggest, or one of the biggest guitar companies in the world, tried to introduce robo tuners across their brand. Every guitar that year, or like 90% of guitars that year, had these robo tuners pre-installed, and the titanium nut and everything. It was like, people were like, those are the worst guitars we've ever seen. Please don't do that again. And they learned their lesson. I think then they very nearly went out of business because of that. And because of some stupid ideas and business things that they did. But yeah, they were, I mean, guitar people don't need tech. Just if anyone's thinking of starting a technology-based guitar company, unless it's like an app or something for, I don't know, learning guitar, which is, there's a lot of them out there already. I don't see. Maybe you could have like a Tinder for guitar players to match you. You can find your perfect guitar. I don't know how that would work, but feel like that's what Muddy H2O is working on right now. Because he's got the skills, you know. Marcia says, "Oh my God, ketchup chips are gross." Is that a thing? Why? That's weird. Daniel says, cheap products have come a long ways in the past 5 years. That's very true. That's very true. The last 5 years has seen a huge increase in the quality of cheaper / inexpensive products, for sure. A lot of better stuff coming out. I don't know why, but it's good. We're living in a good age for cheap stuff being good. We're also living in an age where stuff's getting more expensive, so having alternative, cheaper options is a great thing. Buglip says, "I did a superb job typing that." I love that you pat yourself on the back for that, sir, and keep doing it. I love you. Ben Allmark says, "Daniel, who makes the drum / looper pedal?" I think he said it was from Temu, the website Temu, but yeah, maybe there's more information you can give us. So if anyone wants to pick it up, that'd be cool. Richard Clark says, "There's a channel called OK House Cat that makes pedals out of all kinds of toys. It's pretty cool." Sounds cool. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen some interesting ones. Like there's a Back to the Future DeLorean one, which I think sounds cool. I think that's a delay. Could be wrong. I think that's what they do. There's a Batman one. I don't know what that does. But yeah, some very cool, interesting pedals out there. Ketchup chips aren't bad. Ketchup Doritos just taste like a can of corn with ketchup poured on. I mean, I'm not into any of that. Richard, is he the one who did the Back to the Future DeLorean? See, there you go. That's probably, see, Scott knows. Al says, now got a Brooklyn Brewery Oktoberfest, much better. I like Brooklyn Brewery. They're cool beers. I like them. I've had them a few times. They've been out of stock for a long time around here. I suppose it's a long way to go for a beer, but yeah, very cool indeed. Marcia says, "My sister actually likes corn with ketchup on top." That sounds like you should just cut off all ties and be like, nope, not accepting that in my family. That's what I would do. And Scott says, "Dave's Chibson vid," and has a link there. So if you want to watch that, it's on the channel, and Scott can provide you the link. Indeed, good stuff. How's it doing, actually? Has it got any views? Anyone? Has it got more than 20 views, which is kind of what I expect these days from YouTube? We have on that video, which I think is about 24 hours on YouTube now. It is. Oh, it's got 863 views with a 4.9% click-through rate, which is not awful. And then a view duration of 4 minutes and 43 by average, which is roughly about 44 or maybe 38% of the video. So, you know, could be better. You guys need to watch all the video all the way through to the end. Otherwise, YouTube be's a jerk, I think is the proper way to say it, without YouTube actually knowing what I'm saying about them. Rob says, "Moore makes a drum looper pedal that looks very interesting." And Richard Clark says, "I'm not sure about that one, Scott." The DeLorean. It's a very cool looking pedal indeed. At some point I shall pick one up if I can get my hands on one. Daniel says, "It's called Playwell on Temu." So there you go. You'd have to download the Temu app. I think it's just an app. I'm not sure. Mar says, "Muddy needs to comedy for guitarists. He'd earn a killing." He'd get killed, all right. Squire says, sorry, Daniel says Squire over Chipson, or Senstar. A lot of brands over Gibson. In fact, I would say pick anything over Chipson. Despite not hating them or being like terribly against them or anything, I think you should go with anything else over Chipson. So yeah, I agree with you there, my friend. Richard says Scott Bugwood. Oh no, that's not him. Most of his stuff is crazy one-offs. All right, cool. We should all check it out. To be honest, okay, house cat. I think that's what he said. Rob says a no-name Asian copy of a guitar is one thing. The moment they put Gibson on the headstock, it becomes a counterfeit, and I have serious issues. Indeed, Rob, I agree with you 100%. Actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted to make video about it, because I've seen people, not just one person, I've seen a few people say that they're not counterfeit because here's how counterfeit law works, and they're not knockoffs and they're not fakes. I was like, sorry, they are. They're counterfeits, they're fakes, they're not authentic, they're not the real deal. And I felt like I needed to say something about that, because no matter what way you look at it, they're a fraudulent product. If you've seen my video from last summer, was it last summer or the one before? I can't remember, but I got a Les Paul 59 Relic, heavy relic one. And I repainted it, including the headstock, stripped it down first and then repainted it a beautiful blue and gold color. I think everybody thinks it's the sexiest guitar ever made. But yeah, it's I think that's the way to go. If you're gonna get a Gibson, if you do, you got to take that Gibson name and headstock off, because that's where the potential for fraud happens. Sometimes they'll be open to you. If you can reach out to the seller first and be like, can you give me a name other than Gibson on the headstock, and they'll do it for you. Or they can leave the headstock blank. You still, like, I can't decide tomorrow I'm opening a guitar company and put a Gibson shaped headstock on my guitar. They would sue me and put me out of business, even if I clearly put on it 3 Chord Dave guitars or some whatever I'd put on it. That headstock shape is copyrighted, so you can't infringe on that. But of course, there are people who want to defend the guitars and say that it's fine. It's not fine. It's copyright infringement. And there's no way of looking at it that will change that. It's wrong. It's like they shouldn't do it. So if you do buy a Gibson, I do encourage you to take the headstock off or cover it up or do something. But definitely don't go around pretending you got the real thing, because it's easy enough to figure out anyway. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Rob, 100%. There are issues with them. Yeah, I've modded every one that I've had, except for the Dave Grohl yet, but I will get around to that. I just haven't had time. So we'll see what we do with that. Maybe that'll be a video at some point, who knows, or a series of videos. Muddy says, Marcia, Dave is my comedy gift to you all. I'm not quite sure how to take that, sir, but thanks. Thank you. I'm slightly worried, but okay. Scott says, we would have teleportation if not for the mail service keeping it down. You know what, Scott? I think that is an interesting topic that we should talk about on a podcast or something. We should do it. We should talk about all the weird conspiracy theories, because I love a good conspiracy theory. Scott, Chris from Coburg says, the very best guitar is the one you own. Indeed, sir. There's nothing I love better than the guitars I own, except for the ones I'll buy next. Those ones are cool too. But yes, indeed. Ben Allmark says, another Epiphone release. My God, am I the only one who believes they're ridiculously overflooding the market? Well, sir, the reason they're doing it is because not everybody owns an Epiphone yet. So that's why. They're like, there's like 1,000 people who don't own Epiphones in the world. Let's put them out. But yeah, we're getting some stuff. If you check out Cesar's Instagram, he was playing Kirk Hammett style Flying V's this week on Instagram, so that's likely to be around the corner soon as well. But that's not what I'm talking about. I do think we're seeing something else very soon from Epiphone, a bit of a collection update. I think that's what I'm being led to believe. Now, it could be something for 2024, so I won't say too much because I'm not 100% what it is yet, but that's what I've been told. I have some news for you. So that's all I know, and it's Epiphone related. So I shall let you know when I know more myself. DMAC says, actually, I shouldn't say stuff. Sorry, DMAC, I shouldn't say about, I'll let you know about Epiphone stuff before I know about it. Because occasionally Cesar's little spies will get back to him and be like, Dave knows something. He's going to tell everybody about it. So I'd be quite careful what I put out, of course, too early. Apparently, they're quite pissed off with those of us, myself and the old Geek Lord, for putting out videos about the modern collection of Gibson Les Pauls that are coming. So we'll see. Yeah. And by the way, Cesar, if you're watching, come on the show, man. Let's have a chat. I want to ask you some difficult questions. DMAX says Long & McQuaid in Canada has an excellent return on warranty policies, makes buying from them virtually risk-free. That's why I mostly hit Thomann up all the time at DMAC, because they have a great returns policy. I've never had a problem with them. Whenever I say to them, hey, I want to return this guitar, or I've got a problem with this guitar, they just reply by sending me a shipping label. There's never any issues. It's super cool. There's other guitar dealers in Europe that I've purchased from time to time, but usually I'll go straight to Thomann. If they have it and they've got a good price, I'll buy it from them because of that experience. Of course, that's all law and everything here in Europe, so they have to provide returns, but you don't get that with Gibsons. And I think a lot of people forget that. Even if you're paying a lot less than your Gibson would cost you or your Epiphone would cost you, you still have no real strong return policy. So that's something to be wary of. But I'm sure some people will comment and say, Gibsons are the greatest things in sliced bread, and every time I've had to return one, it's been perfect, and they've returned it, no problem, and it's fine, and everything's great. That's not true at all. Anyways, Marcia says, unfriendly, hit the thumbs up reminder. I mean, let's keep it friendly, Marcia. Let's just not scare the folks, okay? If you do want to hit that thumbs up, that would be super kind. And we would appreciate it much, much more. Than the unfriendly ones. Money H2O has yet another super chat in him because he is a gentle soul, a lovely person, and he likes Stratocasters more than SGs, so I'm not sure I like him as much as I used to. But there you go, it's fine. But thank you, sir, for the super chat. He says, 3 Muddy Chords podcast, question mark. I like that. I like that a lot. I think we should do a podcast just talking about all the things we talk about on a regular basis. It says, Glory Hole Trolley Black Guitar Peanut Butter. Is that, I mean, are we trying to hit keywords? What's going on? Are you in a competition to get me to say words with Glenn? I think, is timeout one of the ones Glenn wants me to say? Thank you, sir. You know, I love and appreciate you. I would be down for doing podcasts. I want to actually get a guitar podcast going. I have plans for one written out, and I need to get a couple of other people involved that I think are cool. And if I can get them interested in doing it, I will. But there's a lot of work needs to go into it. Have it all planned out. Have a really cool guitar podcast name, which I'm not going to tell you about just yet, just in case anyone steals it. Because I know what you'd do. You'd steal it. So yeah, we will see if that comes to fruition. Probably a 2024 project. So fingers crossed. Podcasts, love them. Being on them. I don't listen to lots of them. I listen to 5. Maybe that is lots. I don't know. Rob says, if Gibson comes out with a Cherry Burst Studio, they were going to mess up all my 2024 amp purchase plans. Rob, I got bad news for you, my friend. No, I got no information on that, but I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Let me see, where did that go? Man, all these YouTube things. There we go. Okay. There we go. I've seen that comment before. I've read that comment before. So that's where I was. Cool. Back where we started. Buglip says, I tried to find something that would blow up once the police had great many questions. They tend to. They're like, why are you trying to blow stuff up? I was like, just on YouTube, my friend. It's all good. Marsh says to Ben, well, lots of brands over Flood, Solar, Fender and Squires are 2 examples that come to mind. Even PRS is upping the choices in terms of flooding the market. The Epiphone thing. I think Epiphone are doing a thing where there's a lot of guitars out there and they come thick and fast. I mean, they've put out a lot of guitars this year. A lot of big signature models, I think, is a thing as well. Like, Not as, I mean, no other company is putting out as many signature models, I don't think. And it gets a little bit tiresome. A lot of people are like, why? Why just put out cool guitars? Um, but yeah, it is a thing. I think they are putting out too many guitars, but it'll settle down. I think if you listen to Cesar, and he's done interviews with folks, not necessarily guitar related YouTube channels or podcasts and stuff that I've heard him on, but I've heard him do interviews. He's a very passionate guy about guitars and about Gibson guitars and Epiphone guitars. And I got to give him that. Like he is, he's trying to make Gibson great again, to quote Mark Agnesi. But um, there's also some things that I disagree with, and that's, that's fine. I don't have any say in what Gibson do or don't do. But as a commentator, I think it's fine to say, hey, you're kind of making the wrong path for the consumer here. And flooding the market with too many things is possibly one of the things that's happening. If you're like a super fan of Epiphone, for example, your bank balance took a hit this year because they put out a lot of very nice things, and they were very expensive. So some of the cool things they already have out that are not expensive, you might already have in your collection. But I do see where Ben's coming from, and yeah, I honestly, I would love to sit down with Cesar for an hour and just chat guitars. I'd love to sit down for 15 minutes or 20 minutes with him and just chat about the business in general, not Gibson's business, guitar business. I think we'd have a great conversation. So if anyone knows Cesar, if you are Cesar in disguise, let's come on and have a chat, man. So not saying he's been on the channel in disguise, but he has. Richard says, have you ever seen the gold burst that Geek Lord has, or the candy apple red with the gold base coat? I've seen the candy apple red with the gold base coat. That's a very cool color combo. I think they did a run a couple of years ago of those, right? Like the refinished models or something. Those are cool. Yeah, I really like them, and have considered if I ever was to refinish one of my own guitars to do something like that. I think that's a very nice idea. The gold burst, is it burst with white, or am I thinking of something else? Like it's white around the edge and then the gold center part. I don't know if I've seen that particular one. I shall go looking for it after the stream, of course, now that you've mentioned it. Mar says, I don't know how I feel about so many options. Options are good. Too many options. Seems like a lot of guitars will go to waste and not get sold. Chris from Coburg says, don't tell me what to do, Marcia. That's in terms of the hitting the like button. And indeed, don't tell Chris what to do, but tell everyone else. It's fine. In terms, Marcia, of your too many options, the thing you got to remember is there's so many people and so many different tastes out there. And I don't think it's possible to cater to all the tastes and all the people. I think they may be trying to do that a little bit. And that's kind of something that stretches your company too thin, and then you end up making the same mistakes that previous ownerships have done, which is taking your eye off the ball. And Cesar said in the recent interview that went out a couple of weeks, or this week, that they're trying to just make the best guitars they can. I don't think that's their sole focus. And I think to make the best guitars they can, it needs to be their sole focus. So they need to stop making t-shirts and headscarves and jackets and bags and pendants and what else do they have partnerships with? Any old bullshit. They need to stop that and just make guitars. Make guitar related stuff. A jacket, a leather jacket's not a guitar related thing, no matter how much Mark Agnesi wants it to be. You've got to just make guitars, and yeah, make cables and picks and amps and maybe even pedals. That's your business. Stick within it and make great stuff there. So I think they take their eye off the ball a little bit. And if they didn't do that, I think they'd actually be kick-ass, because I do like a lot of the things this new ownership of Gibson are doing. Even with their Epiphone brands, I think they're making some great things. Their core Epiphone guitars, the Inspired by Gibson guitars, are fantastic. And that's enough of that rant for me. But I think it's a good point to say too many options. The options are good, too many options are good. are not so good. I think that's true. You can't cater for everybody, but cater for the main core people. And look, the people will go off and buy other brands, and no matter, even if you make the best guitars in the world, you can't stop them. So anyway, it's all good. It's all good. They're doing fine. They could do better though, I think, in my opinion. Who am I to tell Cesar, the greatest business person in all time, what to do with his guitar company? Marcia says, that's my mission in life. I love telling people what to do. Not my fault that they listen. Anyways, Al says, figures I buy a used, although perfect, PRS 594, then PRS lowers the price to under what I paid for it. Crap. Well, hey, Al, you know what? As long as it's a cool guitar and you're happy with it, that's all that matters, because pretty soon the guitar prices will go back up. So it'll be over what you paid for it again. But yeah, I think we've seen your one on Instagram, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, you're all good, man. You're all good. I just love the fact that it's a cool guitar. Where are we? Rob says, DMAC, is the problem guitar from the COVID era? If so, parts shortages causing reliability issues is not uncommon. DMAC have a problem guitar? Did I read that out? I can't see it there now. So yeah, well, there are still reliability issues, and parts and stuff are still being an issue from time to time. Ryan says, sorry, I can barely type. Had a big lunch, sir. Like myself a liquid lunch at the weekends. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You're all good. Kristen Coburg says, Cushman, yo, keep rolling them fat, my friend. Great advice. Why not? Yeah, absolutely. Marcia says, yeah, Al, same happened to my friend. She got a McCarthy 594 the day before the sale dropped. Sweetwater offered a free plec when she got it, but still she would have preferred the huge discount. I mean, a plec is a really good incentive as well. Yeah. There you go. I mean, you can always return it and be like, I don't want this anymore. Buy it again at the reduced price, and then you get a refund for the other one. I mean, it's messy, but you can do it. Al says, I want that new PRS SE Swamp Ash in black, and it's already sold out all over. I got news for you, Al. I think my good friends might be able to help you out. Let me check. PRS. Where are we? That's not what I'm looking for. Where are they? There we go. Swamp Ash. Special. I think they're calling that one the charcoal. Those will be back in stock in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I just know that because I saw it today that they were restocking them soon. So there you go. 2 to 3 weeks, you should be able to pick them up. Also, hopefully you'll get one then if you want it. DMAX says, yeah, I bought the SG during COVID. The LP is newer and on warranty, so it should get resolved. No problem. I think the SG is a wiring glitch, but the LP pickup was a weird thing. Yeah, my SG that I love, one of my favorite SGs of all time, had a wiring glitch as well. The selector switch wasn't working, the neck pickup wasn't connected properly for a while. Fixed it. It's been perfect ever since. Very easy fix. So I think that's a common thing with Epiphones, maybe Epiphone SGs. From what I hear, from what I looked at online when that happened with mine, people seem to be reporting it a lot. So I think that might be something. But it's a very easy fix, and the guitar's perfect ever since. Scott Bogwood says, what's the market value of Dave's old guitars? Have the Deans and Jacksons gone up? I mean, like my day. No, of course you mean Dave Mustaine. I don't know. Because I have no interest in those guitars, but I'd imagine, I don't know. I'd imagine they're probably gone up because they're not going to make any more of them, but who knows? It's maybe a good idea to look at that. Glenn says, been lurking. My son cooked us dinner, so I took a break. Glenn, you're always putting your actual family before your Chord Dave family, and honestly, we need to talk about it. That kind of commitment, it's not going to make you made a moderator anytime soon. Let me just say that. So, yeah. Just think about your actions, Glenn. No, we love you, man. All good to take a family break. Why not? Um, Scott says, "Boss sucks at software." My boss sucks at software as well, and I will also get in trouble if my work hear me say that. Marcia says, "Speaking of Rick Astley, he got Ren rolled in the UK charts for number one spot. Evidently, I hope Rick is not upset. Even if you don't like Ren's music, it's a huge achievement for an indie artist." Um, I mean, do people care about charts anymore? Is that a thing? Back in the day, like in the 90s, like that was when I remember it being an important thing. I don't even know if they still do it weekly. I presume they do. Marcia says, "That's a good son, Glenn. You should consider keeping him." And Glenn says, "I'm thinking about it." I mean, this is the kind of thing I'm not really comfortable with telling you what to do or not what to do about it. But, if he makes a good dinner, then yeah, think about it, maybe. Marcia says, I like myself. He's really attracting all sorts of people that you'd never expect to like him. He's got a message. He's a thoughtful human being. His guitar skills are sick." Thank you, Marcia. I appreciate that. I haven't had quite a strong review on my guitar skills in a long time, but I do appreciate your words. And I know you're talking about that Ren guy or whoever, but I'm just going to steal it as my compliment. It's going on my website or my LinkedIn. Just copy that comment into my LinkedIn right there. I like them myself. There we go. What is the opinion of channels that offer a giveaway when they hit a certain sub number? Glenn, didn't I do that myself when I hit 5,000? So I'm a bit biased. Don't want to call anyone out. Don't want to be negative towards anyone. What I will say is, there's no point in me right now saying, when I hit 50,000 subscribers, I'm giving away X guitar. Here it is. And me just playing that guitar for the next 3 years. And every video being like, I'm going to give away a guitar. I think when that happens, when a guitar channel says, I'm giving something away, it should be something relatively soon. I hate when I see channels drag it out over months and months. Like, do it with something that you're going to hit likely within a month, or that you think you can hit within a month or 2 months. Don't stretch it out any further than that. And when you do it, when you do the giveaway, make it a big public thing, so that everyone knows who won and nobody gets a comment and can say, "Oh my God, I won the guitar." No, because you saw it already being given away. And you know who won it. I think that's what I've always tried to do. Make it very clear there was one guitar, one winner. Here's who the winner is. And when I do future giveaways, I'm not going to use the same system, but it's going to be very along the lines where it's very easy to know who's won the thing. So yeah, we've lots of channels do it. It is a good way. It builds people up and brings them to the channel. I mean, I know a lot of you guys came to the channel because there was giveaways at times and stuck around because you just liked my pretty beard. But the rest of people come in. There's a lot of people, I think you've seen them when we've done the giveaway weeks in particular. They come in, they start answering questions, they get some of them wrong, they leave, and they never go back on the channel. They're just here for the guitar giveaway. So you're kind of dragging people in. In terms of that, I think that's my main point, Glenn. It's a good point, right? What's the opinion? Because some people abuse it. But like for me right now, I'm on near 7,500. There's no point in me saying a 50,000 I'm giving away or 20,000. Right now, honestly, I can't even say 10,000 because I don't know. I've been on nearly 7,500 for the whole year. It hasn't gone up or down much. So I can't really say, oh, when I hit 10,000, I'd love to. But yeah, I don't know when that's going to be. It could be 6 months, could be a year. It could never happen. So I think as long as people are realistic, I hate when I see people put too far a number on it. Do it reasonably. Don't milk it for too long. And I think there are some channels that have done that, but they probably learned their lesson not to do it that way in the future. And but at the same time, as long as you're genuine and actually giving away a guitar, I think that's a cool thing for a YouTube channel to do. I'd love to win a guitar. So there you go. Marcia says, I have no problem with giving away free stuff for any reason. That's a very good point. And also, why, Glenn? And yeah, let us know why, Glenn. If maybe you've seen a channel doing stuff. Christian Coburg says, "Yikes! The stew and beer just caught up. Gonna hit the loo. Too much info. I know, Jim. Thanks for telling us, Chris. I hope it went well, because I'm sure that comment was a while ago. Indeed. Glenn says, I'm thinking of doing it on my channel. Very cool, Glenn. Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. And as I said, it is a great way to build your audience. People do come to your channel, subscribe to your channel for giveaways. So do it and make as good content as you can around that time. You'll keep people engaged, I think. But yeah, best of luck to you. Hope it goes well. If you go ahead with it, if you want to ask me any questions in particular, feel free to reach out anytime. My friend, always open to helping you out. Rob says, I think it's fine. A gentleman whose channel I like to watch is giving a Squire base away at 500 subs. That's not bad. The honest thing is, like, if you can advertise your YouTube videos, you can promote them. YouTube will charge you money to basically put it out to more people. So let's say my Chipson video, right? I could pay to promote that. I could pay $300-$400, $500, say, to promote that video. YouTube will tell me it'll get somewhere between 10,000 to 60,000 views. And within a week, that money is gone, and maybe I get a couple of hundred subscribers out of it. If I have a month or so, or maybe 6 weeks or so, of I'm giving a guitar away, subscribe to the channel and come to Chord Dave Live, I'll probably get that many subscribers, and I can give away something like a Squire or a Harley Benton or something, and it would cost me, or the Epiphone we gave away before, and it'll cost me less, or maybe a similar amount or less. I think it's a better thing to do. I don't like giving YouTube money. They're supposed to pay me, but they're kind of shit at doing that. So anyway, I think it's good. If you're going to do it, and yeah, all the best. And as I said, bring the question. If you have any questions about anything I've done or in the past or anything, let me know, and I'll do my best to help you. Scott says, stew and beer, that too much liquid. I'll ditch the broth and put the beer in the stew instead. Good idea. Ketchup Doritos are real. God knows why. Dill pickle Doritos, however, are sublime. Terrible. Glenn says 500, at least 1,000. You never know, man. I think it's a good way to get over that 1,000 mark. Mer says, by the way, the neurotic guitarist made a great video about his Darkfire with robo-tuners. He felt the same. I wish Gibson would try robo-tuners with current technology. They were way ahead of their time. I've gone on record, I think, of saying I don't hate robo-tuners. I think they're fine. I think they're a little mark in history, but so I will at some point add a robo-tuners guitar to my collection. I like the Darkfire. I think it's a very cool looking guitar. I don't know if they should do it again, to be honest. I think they'd get a lot of shit if they did, and the new ownership seems to be, and I hate to say this because it's going to sound a little bit hypocritical, but what I mean is they're trying to remain traditional. They're trying to bring guitars back to just being guitars, and not too many fancy technology things. Even bringing things back like the chainsaw cases and the things like that, different models that they've released. I think they're looking more in the past than the future, so I don't think they'll do it, but Cesar is watching, he'll probably do it first thing Monday morning. Glenn says, not a fan of the dill, but the ketchup Doritos are okay. I don't know why this Doritos thing is going to haunt my dreams, but thanks, guys. Rob says, Glenn, I think Rusty Fenders decided it was taking too long to get to 1,000. Just on that, it takes a long time to get to 1,000. It's a big achievement. It really is. YouTube can seem simple, and there's lots of people out there who will tell you, get your first 1,000 subscribers in your first 3 videos or whatever. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of uploads, and yeah, some people get luckier than others, or some people have videos that do a lot better than others, or whatever. And that can just be luck of the draw. I mean, there's some great channels that I watch, and they've low subscriber numbers, but they're putting out great videos. And then there's other people I watch, and their videos are not that good, but I like their view or their content. But their videos my videos are not as good as people who have less subscribers than me. But I got lucky. I got you guys. But yeah, in terms of YouTube, it is harder than it looks to build a channel. As I said, my channel's been stuck around the 7,500 mark. It's gone up and down between those things for the last 8, 9 months. So yeah, it was going all right, and then it just kind of froze there, sitting there almost a year now. So yeah, it's a tricky thing, YouTube, but it is a great way to do it. And yeah, you can always promote your videos as well. Get them in front of Tribal videos or something. Daniel says, when Gibson put out a video of them crushing 100 guitars, I haven't even thought of getting another Gibson product. That was a shitty move. Bear in mind that was the Henry J ownership group. The new guys, I don't think, would do that. Yeah, that was a kind of a statement, and I think a lot of people were against them at that time. It was just a stupid thing to do. And the remaining ones of those, the Explorer X, is that what it's called, or whatever it is, those are quite collectible now. The ones that did remain. But yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from there, Daniel. That was a dick move that they pulled off. Not the first and not the last. Chris McCober says, what guitar is everyone playing right now? Like right now, in your hands, right now. Right now, nothing. But probably before I go to bed, I'll play around on the old SG for a bit. Right after the show in about 20 minutes. Amar says, with teeny sensors and batteries and advances in hardware and software, I really think they can make a solution that is low profile and virtually identical to regular tuners. I don't know. The original robot guitar that Gibson put out had a different system than the G-Force thing with the Tronical tuners. I think it was still a Tronical product, but they had a certain bridge. The bridge would pick up the resonance of the strings and send a message to the tuning brain, I think it was called, and then that worked. So like an updated version of that, because that is more similar, I suppose, or doesn't. I can't even say it looks close, but it's definitely a different system that probably could be upgraded. It's 8 years later, or no, hang on, what are we talking about? It's 15 years later, 16 years later. There's probably a better way of doing it. I just don't think there's a market for it. I think there's a very niche market for it, which is probably too small for people to actually invest in. But I get your point. It'd be interesting to see what they could do. I just maybe some small company will do it at some point. I can't see a big company like Gibson doing it. Maybe as an aftermarket upgrade or parts placement. I don't know though. Again, it would come down to pricing, and it need to be super affordable, I think, to have any uptake, and that might be the problem. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Scott says, thin slices of, is that pronounced bologna, that word, even though it's bologna? Bologna? With dill pickle chips inside, like a Newfie taco is awesome. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. It sounds terrible, but anyway. Coffee crisp for the win. I agree with you, buddy. I don't say that too often, but I do agree with that. I don't know what coffee crisp is, but I'm going to agree with you anyway, because that's the way it goes. What? No kisses from me then. I don't know. Glenn was looking for kisses, bug lips. I mean, maybe. Al says, just put down my PRS 245 with Dylan pickups. Awesome. I'll sub for a chance for a bass. I mean, there's no basses allowed, so there you go. Nella says, does anyone here like the 2015 Gibsons? I do. I have a 2015 SG Special. It has a beautiful cherry finish. Great sounding pups and plays well. 2015s are great value if you can get on with the wide fretboard. Yeah, I there's a few that I like, a few different models that I like. The traditional Les Pauls I like. I think it's the traditionals. They made them in some great colors. That's the thing. Finishes that I haven't seen before. Not that I haven't seen before. I haven't seen since. And I think the Les Paul Plus is still one that I'm interested in. They also made some nice deluxes that year, and I think the case that those guitars came in is fantastic, and that's why I love them. So yeah, I like them, Nella. I think they're cool, and it's actually surprising to me that I've never bought a 2015 Gibson to this date. 2015, 2016 as well had some cool cases. They had the big silvery cases. Those are cool. Some Les Paul Studios and that are available for like $1,500 usually, which are really good prices. Decent guitars. So yeah, 2015, 2016, I don't hate them. I just, I just to commentate on the overall idea. The whole idea of putting them on every guitar, I think, was a bad idea. It should have been optional, and it wasn't. It was on like 90% of them. So yeah, I remember I remember seeing, and you guys probably, a lot of you probably remember, those guitars leaked around August or September of 2014, and people started losing their shit. Like, people were going fucking crazy about them. It was kind of funny. Um, I thought it was a great idea when I heard about it, and then when I saw people giving out about them, I was like, when they came out, I was like, I do, yeah, I see it, why it would be a problem. So, anyways, I still think they're cool, and we'll definitely add one to my collection at some point. I do have about four of them in my basket on Reverb at all times. So we'll see how things go over the next few months. Rob F says the channel is Rusty Fenders, very small channel, but I like the gentleman. Nothing wrong with small channels or gentlemen. So good stuff there. Ryan says, I never liked ketchup chips. All dressed are nice. Though the new balsamic vinegar and fried onion by Covered Bridge chips are the best. I'll take your word for it, sir. They sound delicious. Marcia says, Glenn, I just realized I was one of your first subs, and yet YouTube doesn't tell me you're posting anything that I've noticed. Go in and make sure to click that notification bell, Marcia, please. And do it for this channel too, guys, because, sometimes you might have pressed it before, and it just YouTube does this thing. Sometimes it takes off your notifications. If you have too many or something, it'll drop off a channel. So just, YouTube's a bit of a dick sometimes. Just make sure you're still subscribed and you've got the notifications clicked that you want. Let me see. Al says Glary or Chibson. Probably Glary, because they're at least being their own thing. I wouldn't recommend Chibsons as such. I think if you're going to go into buying a Chibson, you have to realize there's work to be done on it. It's not a beginner's guitar, because you've got to be able to do the electronics stuff. You got to be able to do everything. Most of them come not playable, and when they do come playable, they're still got issues. So yeah, I would probably go with Glary. Not that they're going to come super perfect out of the box, but at least they're being their own thing. Ryan says, anyone try the new Vimuram butter machine pedal? No, not me, but maybe someone. Scott says, I think most people who never had ketchup chips assume that it tastes like ketchup, when in fact they're much spicier. Sometimes I don't gel with you guys. I don't know what's going on. Ketchup chips, are you crazy? Maybe at a Chord Dave meetup at some point in the future, I will try ketchup chips for the first time. Rob says, welcome, Glenn. Bailey, Rusty, and I became YouTube chat friends on channels we both watch, so I tried to support his channel. Very cool. Hey, that's a great way to support a channel. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to share the word on Chord Dave on any channels that you're on, by the way, guys. If you're in chats and stuff like that, be like, Chord Dave made a better video about this, or just watch Chord Dave. Every subscriber makes a difference, so Chris McCoburg says, my Squier J Max's Jazzmaster is still the number 1 out of 7 guitars. Some way pricier than the J. Yeah, I mean, you guys know I love my Epiphone SG Special, one of my cheaper guitars. So, a lot to be said for that kind of thing. We got another super chat from the ever fantastic Mr. Muddy H2O, who says, if I can get it on the screen. This is not a true statement, by the way. I put robo tuners on all my new Gibsons. It's called correcting the nut slots. That said, Gibson / Aero collab on the horizon, question mark. No. Probably not. Gibson won't allow me to, but just because Cesar is afraid that I'll damage their business. Probably do from time to time, but thank you, sir. I love you, and you're the best person who is subscribed to my channel, who lives in your house. Glenn Bailey says to Marsha, I've been needing to make a couple of videos, needing to make a couple of videos, but work been crazy lately. It's bad enough when I have to show up at 3 a.m. Then some days 1 a.m. More will be coming soon. Feel your pain, man. You can wake up some days and have the best of intentions to make videos, and then you get to it and you're like, I just don't have the energy. Because it takes time. It takes mental effort. Sometimes you've done all your mental effort in your day job for that day. I know I do. Put a lot into my day job. Why? I don't know, but I do. Again, if HR is watching, I didn't say that. Ketchup chips are awesome because after eating them, you look like you killed something with your bare hands. This message will self-destruct. I don't think we should have self-destructing messages, Scott. Glenn says, Blues Lawyer channel discussed the chips and thing with Guitar Max, and Max took a grinder to the logos. That's a thing you can do. Just get out the logos, grind them or do whatever you got to do to get them off the guitar. It is definitely a thing you should do. And if you can do it without damaging the headstock, fine, perfect. Find some other way to put it in. Like just paint over the headstock completely black and put your own thing on it. I sanded mine off and then painted it. That works for me. Probably with the Dave Grohl one, what I will do is sand it and paint it black and just put like Dave on it or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of work to be done on that guitar though, so we will see what actually comes up. But that's another great channel, Blues Lure. Glenn, so thanks for that. That's an interesting one. I haven't seen that video, but I shall check for it also. Daniel says, my next guitar is a kit. Sounds fun, and it's done. And when it's done, it's going to have feelings attached. Daniel, that's awesome. And yeah, you reminded me, we technically are running a little contest, little DIY kit guitar project guitar thing on the channel. So what we're doing is on the Facebook group, you can post pictures of your progress and your finished guitar. We're going to leave it open all the way through to the end of the year. If you're not on Facebook, you can email me. The email address is in the bottom of the description of all the videos, and I'll share them with the group, and we'll do like some live stream presentations of guitars, and we'll give away a couple of prizes towards maybe in the new year for the guitars. Kits, project guitars, whatever you want to do, just a little bit of creativity, a little bit of fun. It's not a huge thing. We're not going to give away any Gibsons or any guitars. It'd probably be like a book or a gift voucher or some sort of thing. But just for a little bit of fun. So if you want to get involved in that, feel free to join our Facebook group or just email me your progress if you want to. And if you don't want to, it still sounds like you got a cool project going or an idea for a cool project. So good luck with it. Hope you have fun. That's what it should be. Rob says, I thought it was I thought it was the trademark law in the US that protect headstock and guitar shapes. Problem is a company has to defend their trademark or lose it. Hence why Fender lost the strap body trademark. It's something like that. The trademark for body shapes, like for example, Gibson can't really go after Flying V's in Europe. So I can start a guitar company and make Flying V's. They can't really do anything about it because they didn't defend the trademark at some point, so they lost it. But it's all about, they go after headstock design now more than anything. So that's what you got to be careful of in particular. But yeah, I mean, still the point still is proven. It is they are counterfeit knockoff guitars. Even if it says something different on the headstock, if it's exactly the same dimensions and everything like that, it's still the same thing. But hey, it's a murky area. They're still fun, some of them. I'm just going to throw that in as well. I'm having fun with that Dave Grohl guitar. I think it's cool. And I will make something cool that sounds good out of it eventually. It sounds good to me. That's all that matters. Buglip says, I want to build a kit and put a super tacky looking skin on it. People do that and they have a lot of fun. So why not? As long as you're having fun with it, man. Glenn Bailey says, "What new Slash models Explorer? Um, what new Slash models Explorer? Maybe question mark is what you were looking for. I believe there's going to be a Slash Explorer at some point. Um, we're probably going to see SGs. Sorry, an SG to go along with the Slash collection. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe an updated Slash collection is due because in Europe, you can't get a Slash Epiphone anymore. Not at the minute. So I don't know what's happened there. They were plentiful and now they're not there. So unless they're going to reintroduce them at full price again or whatever, but they're just none of the main dealers that I visit on a regular basis have them in stock. So that's something that we need to try and find out about. I wouldn't be surprised if January saw a whole new Slash collection. To be honest, I've been hearing about it for a long time, so we'll see. We'll see. A lot of new comments have popped in on top of me. So anyway, let me see if I can, because I just realized we're less than 10 minutes away from the end of the show. So let me see if I can get back to where I was and then try and keep up with the get through as many chats as I can. Oh my God, it's put in hundreds more than it normally does. I'm way further behind. All right, brilliant stuff. How am I this far back? Ah, Jesus. There we go. Right, read that. Let me see. Oh, Scott put an interesting. Are Les Paul classics something worth getting if they will be discontinued? I only ever heard good things about them, but the tribute always drew my attention away from the classic. I think the classics are cool, man. Yeah, so I would say for sure. Rob F says there are 35 was watching and 38 likes. A good ratio. That's a great ratio. Thanks, guys. Marcia says, love when you make Dave read things that he hates out loud. Yes, Muddy enjoys doing that. It's terrible. Marcia said, or Muddy says too, Marcia, I do make him say my name a lot, don't I? Yes, we all know why. Glenn says, I was watching Glenn Fricker live a week ago and he slapped a timeout like it was nothing. I call that a TCD slap. Yeah, you're going to get one in a minute. No, I'm just kidding. Very good indeed. Anyway, let me try and get through some comments. I did see some people in the chat that I haven't seen yet. Let's see if I can get to their comments. Where were we? Oh, hang on, did I say? I think Phil McKnight was right. So many of the Asian guitars were ordered after COVID. The ships coming to the US could not get unloaded. Now unloaded, there's a glut. That's why all PRS SEs discontinued or discounted. See, reading. Yeah, it's definitely a reason. It's good this time of year to have discounts, though, which is very cool. So let me see if I can run down. Glenn says, nice Muddy, I'm a Strat fanboy. Oh, don't get him started, man. He just revealed his Strat fanboyness to me recently, and I'm kind of disappointed. But it's cool. We'll get him back on the SG bandwagon at some point. I'm sure of it. Batfink 2 says, Reptilian Rockers, I greet you all, even your grandparents, wherever they may be. Thank you so much, Batfink 2. It's great to see you, man. Hope you are doing well. I always love seeing you in the chat, so hope you're doing well. Rock and Rob 2004 says, yeah, those bags and luggage stuff for like $1,000 is almost as crazy as the Epiphone prices lately. They are just ripping us off, in my opinion. Maybe it's just me. It's 100% not just you, Rob. Yeah, 100%. Lots of people thinking about that. The thing is, yeah, look, if you're going to say we're focused on guitars, you don't be making bags that are like hundreds of dollars, do you? Or shirts and stuff like that. So yeah, I have merch, but merch is different to those kind of collaborations or whatever they're doing. So I agree with you there. Thanks for joining us, Rob. Appreciate it, man. Rock and Rob 2004. Muddy says, anyone looking for PRS SEs, especially in the Silver Sky, check out Dave's Guitars. $495. They are also selling the Parlor Acoustic for $250. Nice deals. I'm not affiliated with them, by the way, just if anyone is wondering. Al says, my SE Silver Sky is also for sale. Very good, Al. Yeah, absolutely. If you find a seller, but it's pretty cool, actually, that they are selling those at $495 for people who wanted them, because their normal price is double that. So very cool stuff indeed. Let me see. Where am I now? Where are we? Where are we? I lost that chat again. A plec in England years ago was simply a guitar pick. Indeed. Indeed. I know. I know. Marsha said something to that. Um, I think you mean plectrum. It was always shortened to plec. Yeah, but yeah, plectrum indeed is the old school English for it. Um, Let me see. Where are we now? A whole lot of Huey going on. That sounds like a surefire hit in the Three Chord Dave community. Um, Absolutely. You can quote me on that for your testimonials, Dave. Go for it. Thanks, Marcia. Yeah, it's going straight up on my LinkedIn. That quote for sure. Richard says, "You mean like play and trade guitars?" Um, I didn't comment on their giveaway. I think their giveaway they gave the guitar they gave away for that. I don't know if they've hit 50,000 or if they're giving it away yet. I presume they have. But those guys are, yeah, they were giving away a very cool guitar. Baffing says, when Dave hits 50,000 subs, he will give away all of Joe Bonamassa' Epiphone signatures, all 75 of them. I mean, I feel like I can say, yes, that will happen because I don't think I'm ever going to hit 50,000 subs. So, yeah, why not? We'll see. We'll see if anyone holds me to it. I know Batfink will, but anyone else, aside from that. Um, all 75. I love that, man. Richard Clark says, I came to the channel because I thought, hey, this guy knows more chords than me, and maybe I can learn something. Hey, wait till you see the upgrade coming in the new year. Ben says, too far of a giveaway, kind of like that channel. I like their reviews though. They do good reviews. That is 100%. I didn't mean to point out any particular channel. I'm not going to say they were right or wrong. I know there's a couple other channels that did something similar. Glenn says, when Dave hits 100,000 subs, he will give away a trip to Guitar Museum in Indiana. Maybe it will be built by then. Yeah, you never know. I mean, if it's not built by then, it'll never be built. So let's say that. Badfings 2 says, Dave, nutshell, I was going to substitute hell for something else. Rhymes with pack. Shell for never mind. My typing ruined it. Damn. It's okay, I think, we'll just pretend and you just pop it in there, see if we can get to it by the end of the show, which is in like a minute. Daniel says, everybody's asking for stuff. We need to give him something by telling our friends about the channel. That is the best thing you can do, honestly, guys. If you know folks who like talking about guitar stuff, or maybe like finding out about guitar stuff before Cesar wants you to know about it, tell them about the channel. That's all. Share it, like it, and comment. That's all you need to do. It's all very good. Sorry, there we go. But yeah, there we go. Thanks, Daniel, for that. Marcia says, well, are RoboTuners not a part of Gibson history? Because I'd say they are. Yeah, they are. Absolutely. That's what I've said a few times. I think it's a nice little piece of Gibson history, to be perfectly honest. But Ryan says there, my friend got a robot guitar at his shop last week. Looks cool, but is too slow and temperamental. That's a problem with it, absolutely. And Baffing 2 says, if that's the case, why don't Gibson straighten their LP headstocks? That angle is ridiculous, as is the tuning. I mean, now you're asking a serious question, sir. We'll never get an answer to that. So there you go. Let me see. Rob, Rock and Rob 2004 says, because you said chip, son, aka Doritos conversation, I'm guessing they're over munching with beer or puffing. I think you might be right, Rock and Rob. But absolutely. Ryan says, wait till my YouTube channel goes up. Slowest subscriber growth ever. I don't know. But because Ryan, if you started a YouTube channel, you'd get lots of subscribers from this community 100% straight away. I know that. And actually, guys, just before we do quit for the evening, both Scott Bogfoot and Glenn Bailey have YouTube channels they upload to on a regular basis. You should go and check them out and give them a subscribe and a like and a view and all that sort of stuff. Both of them are my favorite, so you should definitely check them out. Let's see what else we've got. See if we can get any more, because I'm way behind. So this is what I'm saying. We got to maybe open the chat a little bit later, and so I can get through them all at this stage. It's getting to a point where there's too many chats every day, but hey, it's perfectly fine. We'll get through most of them. Rock and Rob also says, just put down my limited edition Bird's Eye Maple 2016 Gibson LP standard killer piece. Sounds great, Rob. Sounds great. Did you get one of those cool aluminium cases, I think they are. With it, either way, it sounds like a very nice guitar, that limited run. Just want to make sure I don't miss anybody else who has first commented here in the chat, or I haven't read out anything from them yet. Rob says, Phil McKnight is a good story about the RoboTuner's manufacturer and the year Gibson went crazy at NAMM. Well, the RoboTuner's manufacturer story is very interesting because it's true. Gibson never paid the bill, apparently. They were taken to court and everything over it. Rock and Rob 2004 says, Harley Bentons are better than Glary or Gibsons, in my opinion. I agree. I think Harley Bentons are great. Yeah, 100%. Let's see, which super... Okay. Yes, we're definitely way behind. All right, I'm just going to zoom through and we're going to wrap up, guys. It's, as always, it's been a super cool pleasure to be here with you this Saturday night. Advo is there, cheap price guitar. I can recommend Gilman guitars. There you go, that's one to check out. Advo, sorry, got to you right at the end there. At least I did get to you, I think. Rock and Rob says, thanks for the shout out, Dave. Much respect and love. Much respect and love to you, Rob. Thank you so much for joining us, man. And the comments, I do appreciate it. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, I'll get you next week. So make sure you come back to the chat and we will chat about all kinds of things, guitar wise and everything else. Chips and dip maybe next week. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's been cool. Thanks so much, guys. Look, loads of guitar stuff coming in the next week, I think. I don't know. But keep an eye out for special deals. As I said, if you've got PRS doing 20% off, maybe we'll see some Epiphone deals. Maybe we'll see some Gibson deals. You never see them. All kinds of cool things happening. Look out for interesting stories. If you want to join our Facebook group, do. You can also join our Patreon to get the videos early and all that sort of crack. I'll be back with another guitar video or live stream very soon. But until then, my friends, take care.